So the midterms 2022 are upon us. Why are they so important besides the active political implications? Why are midterm elections in general so important? That is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. Americans, generally speaking, do not trust politicians. Now, we see them at rallies, yay, and all of that. I remember 11 months ago going out with Donald Trump on a history tour. The crowds were delirious to see him. But those are the true believers. Most Americans understand we have to have active leadership. Their vote makes that possible, but they don't really inherently trust the system. You know what? They're right. Power corrupts. You see it all throughout history. Good people start out and they turn into bad people. The more power you get, the more moral discipline you must have, or you just become corrupt. And that is the truth. So the midterm elections are a constraint on the powerful. Between 1934, that's FDR, and 2018, all right, 4 years ago, the average loss of a president in power, was 28 House seats and 4 Senate seats. Okay? That's the average over that big period of time. And it's not an accident. Americans will try to temper power. Okay? So the data is fascinating for our recent lifetime. You started with Bill Clinton, 1994. He beat Bush the Elder in 92, as you remember, because the economy went south and Bush looked befuddled about it. Didn't have any confidence in him to turn the economy around. This new vibrant guy, Bill Clinton, comes in and he wins. But 2 years later, his party loses 8 Senate seats, 8, and 52 House seats 2 years later. And Clinton is like, whoa. And then he suddenly veers to the center. If you remember, passes the Welfare Reform Act, Crime Act, suddenly goes to the center where Joe Biden was. The next president, George W. Bush, Bush the Younger, is the exception because of 9/11. So 2022, just 14 months after we were attacked, that was an anomaly. The nation had rallied around their president and he actually won seats. Then Obama comes in, the savior, all right? 2010 midterm elections. Obama and his party lose 6 Senate seats and 63 House seats. A whopping defeat. Now, Obama didn't do what Clinton did. Obama didn't go too far to the center, but he stopped his progressive agenda mostly. Stopped it. Okay? And then Trump, 2 years in, 2018 midterm elections, the Republicans actually won 2 Senate seats under Trump, but they lost 40 House seats. Okay, so there is the resume, and you can see that Americans are not, they're stingy with giving away power. And they should be. That's a smart thing because power does corrupt. Now, I am sticking with my predictions that I made last week that the Republicans will sweep the House. I can't put a number on it because I don't know some of the money involved in some of these House operations. I can't possibly follow them all. Nobody could. But it's going to be significant. All right? And that's it for Nancy Pelosi. That's the most important thing. The corrupt Nancy Pelosi is finished forever. She's not going to run again. She's 82. Okay, so she's out. That's big for the country. And in the Senate, I'm saying that at the final tally will be 52 Republican senators, 48 Democrats, or those who caucus with the Democrats. 52-48. It's now 50-50. Now, I could be short on that. I absolutely could be short on that. But that looks to me to be in the ballpark. Those are my predictions on Wednesday. We'll know if I'm a complete idiot or not. Okay, now the corporate news media allied with the Democratic Party, which is the first time in history this has ever happened. Very dangerous. So Comcast owns NBC. Comcast, if you read my column, okay, my message of the day today and my column on Sunday, Comcast is an exceedingly liberal corporation run out of Philadelphia. It owns NBC News. Okay, so NBC comes out with a generic congressional ballot poll over the weekend. 786 likely voters. It's ridiculous. Do you not have enough money to poll enough people to make it legitimate, NBC? It's ridiculous. Question: what is your preference for the outcome of Tuesday's congressional elections? Republican control 47, Democratic control 48. Okay, so 75% of Americans say the country's headed in the wrong direction under the Democrats, yet NBC News is telling us most Americans want to continue that. Doesn't make any sense. If NBC is right on Wednesday, I'll lead with that. If they're right. But it goes against every other survey. And there's I'm not going to accuse NBC News of being corrupt, but boy, it's close. Now, if they get whacked and NBC is wrong, then you got a case for it's corrupt. No doubt about it. Circumstantial case, but a case. Okay, now, at the same time, same period of time, Rasmussen asked the same question. The Rasmussen poll, 2,500 likely voters, many more than NBC. The elections were held today. Would you vote for Republicans or Democrat? Republicans, 48. Democrats, 43. A 5-point GOP gap. And it's 6 points if you compare it to NBC. So who's right? Rasmussen or NBC? I'm putting my money on Rasmussen. And that's the memo.